6 going to be really explosive. Any shutdowns that can happen from Moham could turn the tide in OMG's favor for sure.
I think it's two-folded as well. You've got Moham and then you've got Rio with
Only going to try to set their sights on taking those. Junhao hopping over some walls here, putting the pink down. But seeing that this dragon is not in the pit and has been secured. Flash. Harry, a couple hundred HP, will be able to survive sans Flash.
Feather is looping around. They have swapped the spellbook to ignite. They can cancel this recall.
Oh, here we go.
Or just go for the solo.
Forward, the knock up, the ignite. No way! Harry gets it done and survives. A huge gaff by Feather.
These grub fights I expect to be very bloody.
Here we go. We go right on top of Rio. Survives for the moment, trying desperately to escape, but he will go down. Down goes the Braum on top of it. It's a 2-0 for ThunderTalk, and they're going to secure those grubs.
Hello, Harry, just leaning around the corner, picking off Ryan. A lot of damage going down, but it won't end up leading to anything as they are chased away by the beefy boys of ThunderTalk.
Really great stuff there by the last series where some of their fights were very disconnected. I mean, you see there were 2 members on the grubs and 2 members who were closer to the lanes. Hold that thought for a moment as we do see an ultimate drop by Starry here. Rio is going to come over. They are going to clean up Keshi 30 seconds before this dragon.
Really?
Complete purchase of this river to start up that dragon. We'll see if OMG wants a piece of it. I really don't think they should. I think you should just allow your soul inners to scale up, but Rio getting a little too close. They drop the exhaust on him. He's forced to flash away, but Junhao going to go right after him. Then they are able to burst him out. Feat of Warfare for ThunderTalk. Big charm coming down onto Moham. Harry's trying to do anything that he can. He's going to take out some big chunk damage, get knocked up.
He zones off any defensive play to keep the jungler alive for OMG. Will result in the pickup of the dragon.
To how ThunderTalk have been playing on the side lanes outside of Keshi's early death. Haru has been playing quite safe. Hold that thought for a moment. As we're going to see a bit of an engage here. We're going to turn all the way on to Haichao, but he is a little thick. There's that bullet time coming down. It's going to do a good amount of damage to Moham, but here's Harry on the side trying to force away Ryan, but now he finds himself completely alone. Warping Rio in. Grim Deliverance lands flush. Harry is still alive, trying to get that revive. He's got it up as well, but he's not even going to need it, as OMG are running ThunderTalk off the map. A 3-0 fight, and the Herald will be there.
We need both the dragon and a tower to secure this feat. They know that ThunderTalk only need to get the tower and they'll have it, as now they're calling the play Hero TPing in.
Alright, Moham doing a good job of trying to stay alive. The Supreme Display of Talent only hits Rio. Knock up onto Feather. He's very low. Grim Deliverance doesn't land onto anybody, but Harry is looking to get his passive fully stacked. He's got it. Keshi trying to get some priority targets in the back line, but he falls. Harry's going to be the next target. Charm is there, and here comes that Realm Warp. Multiple players in. Feather will fall. Harry will fall next, and Junhao has to slide out using those Hextech gates. It's another disaster for ThunderTalk as OMG will take the dragon.
Rift completely falling out of the favor for ThunderTalk on what was such a dominant early game, but Junhao is alive. They are on a ward right now, fishing to hope to pressure this dragon away, but Moham doing a great job, staying over the wall, mainly just being that extra vision, that extra marker to make sure Kiana doesn't go for the big contest. And I love that we just talk about how significant these ultimates can be, and we see Haichao really leveraging it to collect 2 kills on that fight, as we do see a TP to flank him now in the bottom lane. No Realm Warp, no TP, this is all Keshi.
Yeah, you're going to have to make this play, right? You have to get something out of this. Try to take out Haichao. OMG's been so good on the side lanes here. Teleport coming in from Harry to try to save Haichao, but I think he's going to be dead to rights. Now Harry finds himself in a 3v1, but he has friends coming up the rear. Ryan's in big trouble. Feather's been locked down, and you can't stop Harry. Big knock up from Keshi as Haru now joins the fight, but it's fully in control of OMG. Junhao getting poked just a little bit. Now all of OMG sans Haichao are here. Otacon is on the map. Doesn't look like it'll be started.
I don't think it's worth to take a play here from OMG. You've got out like bandits after that one, losing 1, but you pick up 2, and the one that dies is the Rise, who can rotate over a lot quicker than everybody else off base, as it looks like ThunderTalk actually saying, all right, we need to force something here and now. We have lost the feats of warfare with this bot lane tower falling, as now Heru and Harry having
from
a
Heru,
skirmish.
but he had to walk into melee range. There's that Grim Deliverance, and now Harry with a nice flash. They're trying to turn this around. Big double knockup from Feather. Heru desperately trying to escape, trying to pump out everything he can, but he falls to Starry. Starry untouched, finds a double kill, and you know he's going to want to top it off for a triple, but Rio's going to take that one away. Health bars are low, but no one to stop OMG, and Otacon is
I want to give flowers to Rio, who in that play used the first Grand Starfall to land behind the team fight and keep Junhao away. As now Moham getting picked off. Beyond that, not going to result in too much, but because the Kiana could never group up with the team, we didn't get to see a big play with that ultimate, which could have really swung the fight back into ThunderTalk's favor.
You wish that Baron was spawned, and if we were in 2026, it would have been up for ThunderTalk to maybe try. Instead, you'll be able to get that top lane tier 1 and get some objective bounties into your pocket.
As the game goes on with just a lot of miscellaneous plays aggressing on the top laners here.
They're really going after Keshi, forcing his ultimate out. Big cooldown bullet time going to have to be used on that mid lane turret. They want to try to conserve any health on that turret while they go and get bottom tier 1 themselves. So ThunderTalk doing a nice job there to try to bring the gold back in their direction. Rio and Haichao.
OMG knocking down another top lane play, and guess what? Realm Warp can be used to just leave at any point. No area for a longer team fight play kind of build. No Liandry's anything opting towards that. Going for... It feels almost like down the middle. Listen, I'm no Ahri build expert. I'm not that guy. But this doesn't feel like it's conducive
over 2,000, that's starting to creep a little under that. Use some Hextech portals here to try and take over the bot lane of ThunderTalk as the knockup goes on to the Scion. The exhaust as well. They are certainly hitting him. They're not really doing damage, but they're hitting him.
The world's slowest pick I've ever seen, as now Rio forced to flash away. Heru joining the team fight.
Oh, yeah. Rio just went in way too hard, and he goes down. It's Ryan picking that one up. Harry teleports in.
Varus just killed Alistair off the screen there. Hold up a minute. Feather getting dropped by the Varus ultimate. Using his own, I have no idea how he was able to do that one, but I think it makes a bit more sense now why we had Harry TPing in, as it almost looked like it was going to be a bigger play than it was, as now, I like this from ThunderTalk, trying to do anything they can to pick off Haichao, who doesn't know there's 3 people right here.
It was really nicely done, but a nice sidestep from Haichao. As Harry says, yeah, I'll dash in. I've never met a fight I didn't like with the supreme display of talent. Lands flush, Grim Deliverance, he's still alive. He's starting to get to that pass.
Oh, good pickup.
Finally fall. Haru picks it up, and now he's between a rock and a hard place with the bullet time. There's no bomb to protect it on the backside, and ThunderTalk win the fight.
Absolute cataclysmic failure from OMG to overcommit.
To get in here. This Baron is very, very slow. Down to about 4,000 HP and getting lower. Moham just trying to run interference, but here comes Harry, here comes Starry. ThunderTalk coming in as well. Moham a little too early, takes a big chunk out here. The Baron is secured by ThunderTalk and going all the way in as Rio. Now the question is, can ThunderTalk actually escape? But Haru says, no escape needed, I want in. He's not going to be able to dash away, but he will be able to save the rest of his team. It's a 1-for-1.
Ultimate used from Heru, no Malignance. I think that's a bigger loss for ThunderTalk when it comes to trying to posture for this team fight. They need to wait the 60 seconds or so for this Ahri ult to be available compared to Haichao, who really doesn't care that much when it comes to the actual damage, the actual scrapping. And you see, he cares so little. He's going to aggro the dragon, pull it out of the pit, as now do or die moment. This is a Hextech Soul. Junhao can get in the back of the pit here on the Kiana. They are fishing for the steal.
Alright, he hops over. He's got to make this happen in order to get ThunderTalk in, but they push Pantheon all the way out and secure it. Moham on the backside is going to fall. Supreme display of talent, stuns a couple members, but now is Harry going to take over the fight? He does have that ultimate, or I'm sorry, that passive in the back pocket, but he's not even going to need it. Junhao said, I am running away. Haru able to slide away just barely. Keshi will fall. It's a double kill for Harry. Haru not going to be able to land the charm, so Harry is going to be able to continue his onslaught. You're kidding me. I haven't played World of Warcraft in a long time, but even I hated all those different phases. We're seeing Rio drop down his ultimate on Takeshi here. Again, very muted usage of the Pantheon ultimate, but it looks like they're going to be able to get a kill on Takeshi. It's just a matter of how long is Keshi going to be able to delay them, to allow the setup for ThunderTalk to get some wards and get some positioning here, as Haichao will clean this one up.
Ooh, and by taking a bit longer than
easy
otherwise...
access to him. He has his Guardian Angel now, full build on this Misfortune, so we'll be able to at least survive through any aggression as this Baron has been started up, and it is getting ripped. Harry is in the bottom side. He will have a teleport available. Haru going to land the charm onto Rio here, but not everybody is going to go for him. Feather couldn't get the knock up, and now he's going to get rooted backside. Hai Chao blows up a man. There's a bullet time. It does a lot of damage, but Hai Chao's doing a lot, and here comes Harry. Grim Deliverance, but he's the only one right now with a couple of angry ThunderTalk members, but they're getting a lot less angry because they are falling. Ryan is going to fall next. We've got another revive coming through. Everybody's got some resurrections. Starry, no summoners, still alive. They forced ThunderTalk off the Baron.
And there were basically two separate fights happening right there. There was Harry and the rest of the OMG squad versus Starry. That's beautiful. Starry's GA. Make sure nobody's threatening him on the respawn. And it will be resulting in OMG picking up the Hextech Soul with a poke Varus.
Because of a nice flank from Hai Chao. Feather is flashless for this next fight. It is important to keep in mind. So you're not going to have those snap engages out of the Alistar, which means the fight is inherently going to go a bit slower. Moham looking for a knock up here, but Kesha's going to use his ultimate to buffer it. This Baron is going down. Hai Chao dropping the Realm Warp there. It's a fake out. Knock up coming through as Rio can't get in. Baron secured for ThunderTalk as they're trying to heal up, and now they're going to attack Hai Chao on the backside. Supreme Display of Talent didn't land. They're trying to blow him up, and they are going to be able to do so. He doesn't get a kill in return. ThunderTalk trying to survive. There's that Guardian Angel in the middle of the Grim Deliverance, which means that Haru has to back off. Keshi will fall. Ends up being a 1
to avoid getting popped by Junhao quickly. Doesn't matter, as now we look to the play on the map. It will result in finally getting this tier 1 mid away from Starry, that bastion that the Varus was using to layer down so much poke, so much safety. And suddenly, just losing that one tower can be enough to sway how...
the top side, there's a big flank ward on the backside. Something to keep in mind as OMG are looking to retake their jungle. Rio trying to move in, clear out as much warding as he can, as the top tier 2 will fall. ThunderTalk making good use of their Baron.
Suddenly the siege starts to become quite threatening, as now we have 30 seconds left on the Baron buff. Can ThunderTalk use it to knock down another tower and really take away a second bastion on the map for OMG?
Something to note, Ryan is now on 100% crit. That GA is not up yet, and now we're seeing flanks come through. Rio going to show up immediately, try to get on Ryan, but he falls. Harry has to do something. The bullet time gets interrupted with the knockup, but they didn't go after Harry.
He's down.
Harry is just fine. It is looking to stack up that Cultivation of War. Hai Chao gets bursted out. Cultivation of War is stacked. It's up to Starry and Harry now. Harry to the back line getting interrupted as Junhao is able to escape. There's that Cultivation of War passive getting popped, but there's a well-timed knockup into a well-timed charm into some more knockups. Harry trying to sustain, but he won't be able to. Now it's the GA, but Starry and Moham cannot join. They are locking up Harry, locking all windows and doors. They freeze him out, and ThunderTalk has the advantage.
Expert MMO gameplay from ThunderTalk, spacing out both the respawns. So devastating for Harry to lose both of those revive cooldowns. Hold on a minute.
He got rooted up. That's big damage, and he's bursted out.
Will that be enough to stop the play? It looks like the follow-up Q onto Heru will be too much. It dissuades pushing for further, but sorry, they are definitely still lurking. I see the GA on Varus, though, so going in for a counterplay is quite the spooky prospect with the Elder Dragon up in a minute. The passive at this point, level 18, it's down to 2 minutes, so he should have it back up by the time the Elder fight happens. So now it is about posturing.
Hai Chao forced the flash. Yeah, this is a great ultimate by Keshi. One thing to note is that Ryan's GA is up. It was not up in that fight, so he will have it for this one. That is very key, as OMG has been shoved out of the river. Starry trying to land all the poke that he can. Again, as you said, he's had such a good game hitting these skill shots, dodging these skill shots as well. See if he's able to continue to try to get OMG back in a winning position. They're going to throw everything they have at Keshi. Meanwhile, Junhao forced off on the side by Hai Chao. Bullet
big ult.
Does so much damage and couldn't be stopped. Rio's got to run for the hills. Hai Chao chunked as well. Haru trying to go back in. Starry has no flash, but he goes golden. Harry in trouble. Everybody surrounds him. Grim Deliverance does not get off. and he will fall in ThunderTalk. They don't care about the Elder. They're looking to end the game.
Absolute collection of hero plays right there. Going for the namesake with the flash out to survive the Grim Deliverance. That was a fraction of a second from being a colossal loss in this team fight. The amount of healing Zen would have picked up would have been back to a full health bar, as now it is picking up the scraps for OMG. Dragon going down. This is an absolute game ender objective, but we have to deny the double super objectives. If they get this Baron as well, it is going to be curtains, as we have Starry on the Varus, potentially the bigger threat for a steal. Full build, lethality Varus has the potential to take this game back into OMG's hands.
Let's see if he can channel his inner Gumayushi. Ultimate gonna go down, that change of corruption. They're just waiting on the Baron, and all the time that they take here means that there's
my god!
Elder time, as it's secured by Junhao, and Rio gets bursted out.
I cannot believe ThunderTalk just raw took that Baron in their faces, had nobody go around the corner to zone them off. I was like, there must be a part of this plan. Part 1, start the Baron. Part 2, question mark, question mark, question mark. Part 3, kill Rio and get the Baron, go for the end. It is double supers walking down the mid lane. There is basically no way OMG can win this fight if they go for one. It has to be absolute miracles.
Keshi, a little bit too deep under the turret, bursted out. It's going to be a 4v4. Bullet time, not going to land a whole lot. Ryan, Junhao, Haru getting chunked a little bit here. They have both major objectives. So much power that ThunderTalk have here, as Moham flashing forward, dropping the exhaust, not hitting anybody with the winner's bite. Haichao going to force them all out. Let's see, Starry can't quite land that Q. Is going to eat the charm. He's got that Edge of Night. As OMG will force away Thunder to line. Starry trying to do everything he can, slowing them up with that Hextech Soul.
Looks
Members
like it's just
OMG.
chip. Watch Haru, he wants to fish for something as the Parasol comes down.
Cleanse got used on Ryan after that Chains of Corruption. Haru says it might be time to go. Keshi doesn't land on anybody, but big knockups are coming through. Haichao on the backside trying to burst out. Some members here. GA getting popped. Harry in the thick of things. Health burst getting low for ThunderTalk, but you're going to have to kill him multiple times because of the cultivation of war. We have another GA coming through. Harry has to make a hero play, and I think he just might have. Starry and Harry.
TP's coming in.
Teleports coming in.
That's it.
OMG are looking to end the game from base to base. It was the wave that was set up in the top side. The siege is there. The ace is there. They have the minions. OMG were in such a good spot, and then they weren't, and then they were again. Melvin, OMG are going to take game 1.
Only a 3-word piece to say at the end of that one. Oh my god. What a game to kick off. Untoward, I don't see anything too out of the ordinary. There's Haichao opting for the Spellbook TF. Pretty standard. It does mean that the laning power is going to
have for these auto attacks. Does put advantage for ThunderTalk, but guess who gets here first? It's Rio getting through. Ryan in trouble. Just going to hold the flash in the back pocket. It's going to be Starry picking up first blood.
Getting a roam off early, as now here is the potential.
There's that flick back, but it's bad news. You flicked him the wrong way. Stun is there. Rio picks, I'm sorry, Twisted Fate. Haichao will pick that one up. So great plays from OMG early on. So we have a public execution going down on Keshi, but it's not going to actually result in any kills. OMG really attacking Haru this game. Wait, hold on, it might result in kills. Ryan has shown up. Harry just said, I'm going all the way in for this kill. I don't care if I don't get out. Put that Jax behind.
Really exerting themselves on this. And ThunderTalk had the initial lead, and then it went the other way. Is now another play.
We're paying Haru a visit again. Haichao doesn't have a ton of damage, but that's okay. Is you can just force Haru out and auto attack away from killing him. Won't be able to do so, but again, this Talia not able to make much of an impact. We have Keshi coming down here to join this Dragon. Harry also in the thick of things. Dragon secured over by the side of ThunderTalk. See if OMG are able to pick up any more.
Okay, not looking to go for the destiny behind them here, just happily taking somebody to be your bridge this game to get you towards the mid game. And right now, The Aphelios has been put behind. He was meant to have a dominant force in the lane. The Jax getting solo killed in the top lane. You are forcing for the grubs. At least Harry has TP'd down to bot, so this is a 3v3, 4v4.
All right, knockups are coming through with that Cyclone. Harry shows up to the party. High Chow from behind, trying to disrupt Ryan. Feather able to flash over the wall as Rio is pushed off to the side. Starry finds Feather. Junhao going to be the next target as OMG look to shove him off and take him down. A flash over the wall, but he will fall all the same. It's Starry picking up a double kill.
OMG just play it on his signature Ahri, but it mattered. We now see ThunderTalk trying to force the play onto Harry top.
He's marooned. He's on an island. Everybody is here. Rio can't get in. Public execution is going to land, but not get you far enough away as ThunderTalk through the kitchen sink. No, it's not everything but the kitchen sink. It's the kitchen sink too. And now they're sending every
top tower, but grubs in favor of OMG. It's a very close one. Okay, down to a few seconds of difference, but Starry and Moham, having been left with the tower for so much longer, it means there were a lot more plates knocked down. Looks like they should be able to get the heads up on this one, short of a miracle steal from a Feather E, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that one's happening. So overall, good stuff by OMG, quickly realizing that, Rio specifically, I got to get down there and start up this dragon. They're still on in kind of the bot side.
Massive cooldown, massive pickup, taking away this top tier 1. It does mean if the Archon ends up spawning on that side of the map, it's a point of power knocked down, as it looks like will be, like you said, a response onto this tower. But I don't think they have the damage to kill it just yet, and if they stick around for ThunderTalk to take this, you are forfeiting the feats of warfare. But it looks like, actually, OMG is saying, no, we care more about losing this turret on bot side. No TP committed just yet from Keshi. Looks like they're doing a very slow contest.
Yep, he's going to do it now. High Chow coming around the side, trying to stay out of vision wisely. He's going to drop down that Destiny as well. He's going to get engaged on, but take it to get back on a favorable side of the fight. Feather going to get pulled in. Haru trying to get away. Rio going over the wall, knocking everybody away. And there's the public execution from Harry as he got on top of Ryan to take him out. And they're running over the fight now. Keshi's going to be the next target. Seismic shove doesn't land. He's very low, able to hop away and blast Cone out. But it is a 2-0 in favor of OMG. The Herald is theirs.
Harry on this Ambessa tastes blood in the water and goes for the kill on their opposite number in the top lane. Like, this looked like it. I was expecting the Cassante, I was expecting things like that. And no, we have had somebody who has been really trying to redefine how they go about the game, how they work with this team identity. And with two comps who look to be mid-jungle, sends power to side lane, OMG is executing on that plan a fair bit better than ThunderTalk so far.
So far, so good. The solo laners with experience are beating up on the kids from the LDL right now, as Michael Jordan would say.
We are getting from this ThunderTalk squad. So I'm hoping that this can help them redefine, as we do see play onto Hero.
Okay, we're seeing a cleanse out, but I mean, Hero was just going to die. Feather was able to escape with that, but
yeah,
another death for the mid laner of ThunderTalk.
Don't love that. What I was trying to get to is, so far, in the very small sample size we've had, if Junhao gets off to an early lead, ThunderTalk looks good, because he can lead the team and force plays with impunity. But this Wukong is not a champion that facilitates that. Now, do I think that that's a problem?
Hang on. Moham coming through over the top with the Magnet Storm as OMG are looking to put this series away and punch their ticket to stage 2.
Yes, it is a problem. No, but it looks really solid. OMG showing their stripes and their authority over the top lane tier 2. And now, with the Archon spawning, Hero tries to force something, but at the end of the day, it's just a Talia slapping a Xin. I think Rio should be able to walk out of this one.
Another rock.
Is big.
And another one. And another one. Guys, these rocks aren't doing anything.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because I think not to linger on it too much, because there's going to be a team fight, so hold off a minute.
Yeah, we'll hold that thought for a second. Hai Chao, he's outrunning the knockup! He ran right by it, and he outran it! How? I don't even know. Over on the other side, Junhao is in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get gold carded. Rio trying to get in all the damage that he can, but also soak up a bunch with his ultimate. They find Keshi. Hai Chao not going to be able to gold card anybody else, but they get the pick they wanted, and Otacon's in the cards.
Really nice play from OMG to capitalize and really force their advantage beforehand, because if you have all 5 members when it comes to this fight around the Atacam, we've seen so many teams throw this objective over the year. Will this be one of the last ones? No, it looks like they're forcing.
Multiple members on the backside there as Junhao had the knock-up. A feather will fall. Public execution not going to land, but all my homies hate Ryan as they just go after this man. Haru is going to fall next, and the Otacon will be started once again by OMG. 14 kills to 2 to go and make sure that all my spelling is correct. You know, and we're going to go send it over. We're not sponsored by Grammarly, by the way. I just use it at my day job. Anyway, this Dragon going to go over to the side of OMG, put themselves on Soul Point, and I must say, I really like what we've seen out of OMG in this particular series, mostly because they weren't as scattered in their team fights as they were against one of the Old Man Cup teams. Talk a little bit about more on that in a second, as Haru is going to go down once again. They are bullying the children.
Definite
Please stop
improvement.
bullying the children.
Definite improvement. And you know what? OMG are looking so much better than they did. So competent from a lead. They're not throwing it in any way. Moham is just going to be able to walk this one out. Everybody focusing down. Go ahead and take it away.
Okay, Keshi, wait a minute. Turn around on a Starry. Starry trying to escape, and he will finally fall. Okay, we're landing a hook onto Moham. Listen, ThunderTalk were able to bring a game back because of an overextension by OMG. If there's one thing that ThunderTalk did well yesterday, it was punishing overextensions, and they're looking to punish even more. Rio is going to fall. Harry went all the way in. He's trying to 1v4, but he's just not the guy right now. Haichao getting lollipopped on the hook, and ThunderTalk get an ace.
God, I love caster cursing. It's my favorite pastime in the game. Is it too early to call it the OMG spot? I think if it happens a 3rd time, then it gets stamped as the OMG spot.
If we have another 45-minute game, it'll be the OMG spot. And right now, I'm saying OMG, ThunderTalk is making the plays now. It's now a 5v4, and it's right around the time of the next Dragon in 2.5 minutes. The positioning for ThunderTalk, they get to grab these wards. I don't know.
Looks like a
they get the turn as well. The knockup is there. They blow up Rio. ThunderTalk is doing it.
Big exhaust.
Coming back. Public execution onto Ryan. But this time, all the homies love
Big O!
As he drops the Moonlight Visual, he finds a triple kill for himself. And that's what I'm talking about.
Baron, it's incredible that we're still going in this game. Haichao tried to do what is possible, but he doesn't have the smite from the spellbook. He doesn't have vision. This is truly just, he's trying to aura farm and hope that that's enough to scare them off of the Baron, but ThunderTalk say, no, not today. It's crazy, it's crazy.
Secured for ThunderTalk.
Pretty rough side lanes for OMG as Harry is getting jumped on.
Yep, Haru gonna go right after him along with Keshi. They're gonna CC him to death, and it's another kill for ThunderTalk. Junhao picks that one up, and one thing that we have to talk about. Hold on, wait. The siege is on here. They are just going for it because this Dragon is not up. Will they try to get more? It's a bot tier 2. They're gonna shove in this wave, and yes, they are going to try to look for more. ThunderTalk has a man advantage. Rio from the backside, unable to do anything. This inhibitor is going to fall. ThunderTalk are going to keep moving forward. 25 seconds until Harry is up. It's going to be a 5v4. The first turret is in trouble. There's a gold card coming down. It doesn't actually result in a fight. Keshi up a little bit too far, but he manages to take the turret. And OMG will walk out for a turret that's going to respawn. Harry is up in 10 seconds, but no teleport as ThunderTalk need the...
ThunderTalk forced to look for the end as now is just the chase down. The health bars somewhat low.
Okay. We got the GA, OMG, trying to do something, but they're just forced away. Rio on the backside, Keshi trying to get in. Stun onto Starry, but he can't quite find him. Harry with the public execution, keeping Starry alive.
That's a lot of
chakrams.
alive
too. Keshi goes golden. He's still in there. Keshi's getting it done. He buys enough time for ThunderTalk, but they don't get the Dragon, but it doesn't matter.
I think they got it.
They're looking to end the game. Oh my goodness. ThunderTalk looking for a big comeback. They're not pushing through bot lane, though. They want to go Scorched Earth. They're going to start up on this mid-tier 2. They're going to take mid-tier 3 and try to get that inhibitor and then fade back to the Dragon, I'd imagine.
It looks like it. They are going to take the option of caution, knocking down the inhib. But at the end of the day, there's 20-second respawns on 3 key members. I would not have been surprised if they wanted to push for more, but ThunderTalk's favor and a Dragon pickup to Baron up in 2 minutes 20. What looked like a game with no pulse has had the defibrillator. What can OMG do to force? If you get a kill now, that will convert into incredible Baron pressure, and it looks like they want to go for Keshi. Problem is, we haven't really talked much about this interaction yet. Twisted Fate is your main pick tool. Jax just spins around and laughs in your face as now the Weaver's Wall comes down. This should be the tower falling because of it.
Very nice job there by ThunderTalk. Just trying to get more control now that last part of the jungle on the top side is all theirs.
You just need to force a fight, and it is already melting. Look at this Baron HP!
Yeah, it's already gone. And you know what? I think that going to the waves is just probably the right move. They might be able to find Keshi on the backside here. He doesn't have the helicopter. They're looking for him. They are going to be able to burst him out, but it's a 4v4. Rio trying to get away, trying to get to safety, but he pulls him in. Knockup's coming through into Harry as Ryan's got a double kill. It might be an Aphelios moment. He's got a triple kill. Haichao going to be the next target. He gets flicked back. Public execution onto Haru, who does fall, but Harry on Haru violence. Trade out. It's Haichao against the world, and ThunderTalk loves those odds as they're going to shove it down mid.
Yeah, I've seen no way a Twisted Fate can stop this. Such work from Ryan, who had been absolutely bullied throughout this early game, coming out massive and just walking down Starry, who didn't have the range to be able to actually counter DPS. It is just looking like the end. Like, look at these people. There's nothing they can do.
There's Moham's second turret's under siege. They got the stuns out. Haichao's trying to kite away, but the Nexus is exposed. Ryan will fall, but the rest of the squad will clean it up. To really pull off, though, as I love this bot lane coming out from Ryan and Feather. We've seen Ashe Seraphine show up a couple of times in the LPL throughout 2025. That's the point that I'm going for. We are seeing Rayo and Harry up top here, looking to make a play onto Keshi, at least force something out. Rio is going in. Keshi is going to burn, and it's first blood going over to Harry.
Really put up a massive MVP performance this game, as now finally get a spot out. Junhao on that dragon, going to be quite happy to take away the first Infernal, get some semblance of a fight back on the feet battle.
Ryan taking a little bit of damage there. Minute and 40 seconds until the grubs are up. Both of these teams...
First grub already down before anybody else beyond Rio starts to collapse. And it looks like they're just going to lose all of them. ThunderTalk maybe go fish for a play after, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah, they'll look for the pick. Meanwhile, Haru over on the other side is completely alone. They're going to attack the weak side. He's forced to flash away. Now they're going to go right after Haichao. They throw everything at him and take him out.
All right, that is both mid laners being the focused, but the Akali with just more mobility, using the flash to escape in the end.
Take the first two. OMG is going to feel obligated to go after the next one. Speaking of an obligation, they're going to go right after Ryan. They really do hate this guy, and they will not clean him up. Flash heal shield from Feather saves the day.
And I think that's going to be enough to stall out the team fight. Ryan does need to hit the base ASAP. Oh, the snipe from Rio! It's perfectly down mid as they take out the ADC who had been saved so elegantly by his support. Now, question is a lot
of their consistent damage, right? Junhao is going to have to use his abilities. Haru is going to have to use his abilities. Your auto attacks don't have that same kind of power. And now Ryan is completely cut off because Haichao gets to hold that flank. Top laners not going to show up, it looks like. Teleports are available. They have split apart for the moment, and it looks like Harry will be the first one to join. Junhao is stuck in the back of the pit. Here's the encore, and it doesn't land on anybody. Ryu going in, and he takes the dragon away. Big stun coming down as Moham's caught in the back of the pit, but Haichao's unleashed power onto Junhao. They're trying to fight out of the pit. Keshi is able to at least escape and flash away, but Rio is looking to run him down, unable to close out on the kill. A
backfire as well for Haichao. Higher powered fight than we were initially expecting. Kraken as well, Bloodthirster, everybody bar support on first line. Keshi getting jumped.
Flash, scatter the weak, and Keshi has been deemed weak. But now they're going to look for Rio here. Rio still alive, but it'll finally fall to Junhao. Great trade from ThunderTalk. They have the fight split here. Scatter the weak does land on the Haru.
Junhao's smite nearly back up, but he's chasing the objective down. It resets. Junhao focus.
Yeah, he went in a little bit too close here. Bullet time doesn't land on anybody. Now Starry's going to have to contend with Haru. Another scout of the week, but Moham getting shoved off on the side. Haru says, I must take this fight while my team is gone. He's dancing around, and he survives. The roots onto Harry, and ThunderTalk are coming back, baby.
Oh my lord, such a close series.
Moham's half HP. Feather's going to really need to hit this encore this time around. Use his teammates to extend it. Harry off to the side. Has that equalizer at the ready. He is going to drop it down right under the head of Feather. And it's going to catch him before the ult could go off. Haru has to back out immediately. But Junhao and Keshi trying to lead the charge. Keshi immediately having to flash away. Dragon secured for the side of ThunderTalk. But OMG, it's a 1-for-1 when the dust settles.
Mega fight coming out right there, and I think OMG have got the right slippers on, getting away with that one quite handedly. And now we take a look at how the map is starting to shape up with this Atacon. I personally want to draw attention to some really interesting itemization choices. We have the Verdant Barrier for Haichao, so he's got that spell shield keeping him safe against the Seraphine R should it land. Feather and Moam have both picked up the Mikhail's first item to counter each other's engages. The stuns this game are something to keep an eye on. When will it be used? When will those cooldowns be poked?
That's 60%
Wait,
of
look at
his
this flank
HP.
TP.
Oh, this is a bold flank TP. Enchanted Crystal Arrow does land, but it's on to Moham. Keshi getting bursted out, but they're using a lot of tools. Starry has no ultimate. Haichao has no ultimate. Harry is in the area now. Did have to use his teleport as the Otacon still being tethered. 7,000 HP. Feather, you have to hit a big encore. Ryan is almost dead, and they drop the equalizer on his head, and he will burn but survive. Look at the side of the fight. Things are getting really scary now. Feather, again, still the encore in his back pocket. Otacon resetting. Patient,
such
not
a rough
patient.
Position to
getting
play
lower,
for.
getting higher. Stun coming out. Here we go. We're on top of Keshi, and he's going to fall. Otacon should go over to OMG now as ThunderTalk have given it up.
The 6th member of OMG, Atacon, playing such a significant role. Haru chased down. He slips away. That was narrow, but regardless, it's still massively winning for OMG. Picking up kills, picking up cooldowns, aggressively.
And now another objective, which means another fight. ThunderTalk looking to put themselves on the 3rd dragon, but again, we just have Jace poke. Moham, though, is in trouble. Feather with the encore. This one lands flush right onto the rumble. Keshi eating a full bullet time and a shock blast, but he is able to walk out. Haichao has to teleport mid lane to regroup with his team, but ThunderTalk are going to take the dragon.
Wait, they're looking for a Baron trade? Hold on a minute, because Haichao was bot side of that fight. TP's over, and they're immediately aggroing towards the Baron. Are they trying to do this? No?
No,
they're not.
They realize that they can't. It was just a very weird sequence there by
so
OMG cooldown. Remember, this is Ocean Soul for ThunderTalk, and based on these compositions, they would really love an Ocean Soul. It would be very difficult for OMG to try to fight through that. Shields coming through for Feather mean that those shock blasts don't hurt as much as they used to. Feather needs to have another good encore. Scout of the week lands. There's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Bullet time over the top. Ocean Soul secured. Haru has gone gold. Knockups abound for Junhao on the backside as Ryan and Feather get it done. Haru bursting out Starry, and he lives. Harry goes golden, but he's forced to flash away, and Ryan wants a piece of him. Flashing forward just to slow him up. Harry still continuously slowed. Scout of the week lands, but Harry can't close it out. ThunderTalk 3-0. Oh, it was Owen.
He didn't die, and that's the important part. Allows him to walk over. Ryu was able to steal away the dragon, and now it is Junhao at the Baron. Looks like it's going to be a clean take from them.
It doesn't quite spell doom yet. As we mentioned, Ocean Soul will be so huge here. Bullet time. Great bullet time, and now we're going to go right after Ryan, throwing everything at him, but he gets shielded, and he lives through it. Teleports are coming through. Harry will be able to take him out. Junhao frontlining, but he's going to be in the Guardian Angel as Harry tries to make it back to the rest of his team, but he's overheated. Scout of the week going to land. Haichao going to be targeted out. No, it's going to be Starry this time around as they're diving this turret. Haichao trying to survive between 2 turrets. Haru on a sliver, just barely alive.
How is he alive?
That he's got to hit a shock blast here, but it's just too far out of range. A 4 for 2 in favor of ThunderTalk as they're shoving down these turrets.
What even was that? Heru and Keshi go absolutely crazy at the tail end of the team fight. These dash-based solo laners. Keshi play on a narrow edge, and Heru, a player who had struggled to really get his mark done, is making it happen.
Yeah, now it's time for him to get his lick back. He's 4-1 right now. 3 items. But he's going to have to hop out. He can't quite get the job done versus Harry quite yet. A little bit of Harry on Heru violence, but nothing to be had. Minute and 15 seconds until this next dragon.
Feather has picked up the redemption now. Between that and the Seraphine W, so much healing available as Moam is the target.
Yep, they're going to go right after him, but this bullet
Beagle
is great! Keshi's exhausted, but he's running out of room. Again, this time it's ThunderTalk on the bottom side of the map throwing.
I think that OMG bot lane may have just saved the game. With this dragon priority, no jungler, no spellbook available, no way to contest, and I'm getting deja vu! It's happening again! There is pressure in the mid and top lane, but instead of taking the dragon and getting ready for that, OMG is forcing down bot. I think they're going to threaten an inhib here, because at the end of the day, as ThunderTalk, what can you do to defend this? You can't stand there. You need your other 2 members up.
We saw this exact sequence in Game 2. Go take an inhibitor and then go take a dragon, but this time OMG are sticking around a little bit longer. They really want one of these Nexus turrets to eventually walk away. Here comes an encore, only lands on the 1 equalizer down. Heru has to get away, but they're keeping the pressure on. Feather goes down. OMG are looking to finish the game. Both Nexus turrets
up in
exposed. Nexus at half, and it falls.
Oh my.
ThunderTalk could not get it done.
I can't believe that.
Like, okay, cool, we're gonna do very good in laning phase. I want to see Ultra Prime with some early advantages. Maybe if they can get the first 2 dragons, I think dragon stacking kind of gives them a way out in this game.
So that's gonna be nice for them. Looking for our first little gank, and Bessa is here at least to say hello, or maybe try to get a little bit of a gank here. Looking for an angle to go in. The fight is indeed gonna stop. Nico trying to buy a little bit of time there. Looks like we're trying to find something to happen, and we get melted right before our eyes as we get a 1-for-1 trade. That's a little unfortunate, spending all that resources just to trade evenly.
And the wave's going to be able to hit under the turret. Thankfully for FRK, SMLZ will still be able to pick up this wave. I don't think Baya is going to have too much to say, but actually, there's no combat summoner spell here, so SMLZ just goes down. It is traded for the barrier from Baya, but SMLZ opted for the teleport. Another part of this composition here. He'll be able to move around the...
Gonna go ahead and try and test my mic. Can you hear me now, Alk? Are we good to go? We're looking for our first little route there on Raijin. Taking a bit of damage here as we go in, and Wink does eventually get blinked out on the other side. I'm going to try to lock them down on SMLZ, getting at least some kills, trading back and forth, starting a fight there. Absolute shenanigans on our end, sort of here on the background. Oh, Saber trying to go in, looking for the damage here on Welk as we do layer the stuns there, and Bessa there for the cover as the curtain call opens up, looking for the damage, but that is going to be exposed Jin, as now he's going to get locked down. The Zen go in, and Hacker out for blood as more and more of up go down, unfortunately, for their side, leaving Saber inside enemy territory. It's going to be a 3-hour delay, so I don't think he's going to make it here for this flight, for this Drake, so this should fall squarely in the hands of Up, getting their hands on a couple of more objectives as this goes further and further. I could see them go for a bit of a Drake.
So really interested to see how much more they can kind of put emphasis on this objective now. SMLZ's actually moved over.
Chains of Corruption coming down. Curtain call gonna open up, looking for a couple of shots there. Nico Clone will be able to grab some of it, but Saber goes in, picks up a kill, able to get the score almost even. We're sitting at 6-5, trying to tie things up, getting what advantages we can, and doubling back a lot of time. And that's such a precious resource, but it may not matter if this Rumble just stays here. We've just left him absolutely isolated, trying to look for an angle here on SMLZ. Honestly, getting this trade might be his best bet if he could just close the distance a little more. Just please, 1 or 2 more AA shots, but it's so hard. We do pick up the kill on Varus and go down. And honestly, we take those. That's going to be some nice shutdown gold for Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, just not getting any of those turret plates, so important. Cryan getting smacked in mid lane. They're trying to make this play on the Fearness now. He will have the Scion passive. So
Passive isn't going to get popped as we go down. Score going to get a little bit delayed because technically Scion's not dead yet, but that'll happen here any moment. And this should be some nice plates for them to turn around. Lock someone in the mid lane if we can, but it looks like Zen's going to get spotted. So this could very easily turn into a lot of different just back and forward ganks. Looking for the damage. Curtain Call got to open up there. Just one shot lands, two. Looking for the third. Looking for the fourth. Third does miss. Fourth misses as well as Hacker. Going to worry about the Mbessa. We're out for lunch. We're out for blood as the equalizer comes down and we absolutely melt and fall to pieces. SMLZ somehow able. But we also can't forget Saber's now sitting at 3-1. We're getting a comfortable little bit of gold just over time and not going down whatsoever.
Got 2 items spiking for very important champions right now. We're trying to make a play on SMLZ. Yeah, he has no flash, so why not? Let's just go for it. They find that pick. It is a trade. Saber ends up going down. How much more? I mean, Fierce just TP'd into this play. Liang Chen's still top lane. He'll pick up this wave. I don't think it's enough right now. I think that FRK are starting to realize that they're falling into a little bit of a trap here. That early game that we wanted to see from Ultra Prime is going off, and they're still finding picks here. This is the way that they need the game to go for them, especially now that Cryan has
That's at least going to be a little unfortunate. So far, Banana Bush now firmly in the control of FRK, so Up has been just kind of pushed out of this. It might just be wise to Scion going in, looking for the angle. Fortunately, not able to find it. We are going to be able to pick up the Jin. There's going to be a first flash there, trying to lock him down, but we're going to turn it in immediately and should be a dead Jin. Yes, indeed, he's going to go down. That's really unfortunate. That immobility, even with the flash, really just pins him down, and that is indeed the weak link, not the player, specifically the champ.
We were able to get out the Mikhails from Xiaoxia. That's good enough. Let's move back into mid lane. We actually saw FRK do that. Ultra Prime then, they re-engage, but they miss a couple of their spells, so it feels like if we had some better accuracy, a little bit more precision here, one of these teams would be in a much better spot than they find themselves in right now. This doesn't matter. Like, it's cool. Fierce pressed W, and he has basically the same amount of HP he started this trade with right now. So it's just going to be them trading mid lane waves. If SMLZ had landed that ultimate, this could have been a much bigger play as well. FRK still grabbed themselves the dragon, and that puts a massive spanner in the works here for Ultra Prime. That was their ticket to try to secure the game. This is going to be much needed experience for this team. I mean, just Syndra alone, if she gets a level, that's getting closer to her getting that execute and that mini Rabadons that's attached to her passive.
Santacon going down as Saber takes a massive amount of damage and actually goes down. Miss autoplay button, presses one button and takes down the LeBlanc.
Some of these early lane leads just did not pan out. Saber was doing fine in the lane, but never really moved into other lanes to do well, and especially this bottom lane, SMLZ and Wink got a lot done.
Hacker going down to about half HP, having to blow the Crescent Guard. We are still alive. The public execution, unfortunately, is going to be a bit of a miss. That's kind of a bit of a blunder. That should have been a kill on Hacker. Now we're going to be fighting over the ham sandwich. It looks like it is going to go to the Mbessa. I don't blame them for sort of backing off. No reason to die over a silly objective, even though that seems to be a LPL tradition quietly in the background. But ham sandwich going squarely in the hands of Up. So that's going to be at least nice for them right before the Baron pops up, because that's a free ward that you don't have to worry about. Drake's sitting about half HP, and this is exactly what they want. They don't want this fight to actually kick off. Unfortunately, trying to lock them down. SMLZ gonna get caught there, gonna get taken down by Mbessa. We played a little bit too close to the sun, and we indeed did get burnt, so that's gonna be really unfortunate. Drake does fall down, but it does cost us an Mbessa.
Can I please just offer the fact that I don't still does not have any kind of Zonias, so SMLZ, he's kind of the only person that I'm a little bit worried about, but FRK are also just not in the pit.
Ooh, Change of Corruption's going to lock down. Pop Blossom, unfortunately, not able to hit the Saber there. Nashor getting so close to going down. Look at the damage. There it is, Mbessa in. But now we got to get away with the prize. It doesn't matter if you get your hands on this Baron, if you get taken down for your trouble, as Hacker gets one, looking for the second one, trying to mitigate some of the advantages that Up had got their hands on. And I think they just do that.
Oh man, that's two bear item Jin. Kind of has to be your hyper carry in this instance with the amount of AD, just raw attack damage this champion gets access to. Either we're going for the Crypt Bloom, so this Scion's going to even be more impossible. And you just look at the boots, right? Like 3 out of the 4 members, or 3 out of the 5 members here, they have Merc Treads. That's Leo you down. Okay, so I don't think that's game, but if they find another pick, we've got Dragon spawning in a minute 30.
Saber at least popping in, trying to make a couple abilities get wasted, and it does happen, but it's really just a TP as Nasher sits about half HP.
Yeah.
We no longer have Equalizer to pop down in the Baron pit, so that's going to be a tool out of their wheelhouse. We did pick up Baron, but can we get out of it? That's going to be the important thing there for it. At this point, even FRK
just
probably
a little less sharp than some of the teams we'll be seeing in Stage 2 of this tournament. I mean, if they think they're going to be able to get away with this, it doesn't really matter who ends up coming out of this group because they're going to immediately have to play against some of the better teams that we have waiting for us. And that's what I'm worried about now, even if you kind of just look past just this stage. Now you have a Baron. How much can they actually push? I think that this 2-minute timer, unless they find maybe 1 or 2 picks around this inhibitor turret, we might be looking at a 7th Drake.
Yeah, I think that's a very clear possibility. It looks like we're getting a bit more use out of the Baron Equalizer coming down, only able to do a little bit of damage, is able to buy time here to try to lock down the Varus, but once again, we're absolutely layering our defense, keeping our squishies alive. I like this coordination here for FRK. Curtain Call is going to open up, but once again, Jin's going to be really exposed as he has to cancel it and walk away as the T3 goes down, and Bessa looking to try to make things something happen, but immediately going to run directly into Syndra, going to get knocked back as we're looking to take down that inhib. Saber still trying to make something happen, but just really struggling.
Right now for Ultra Prime, they're doing a good job of clearing the minion waves wherever they can. The issue is that Saber is constantly looking for flanks, but just isn't able to make it happen. So what happens now is that FRK just gets to say, okay, we'll take another turret from you. We'll start to slowly 7 here in 3 minutes.
T2 down, moving into the T3. No reason to not continue our siege. Another Equalizer comes down, and I feel like maybe we're using this a little bit too liberally. That's a very, very powerful ability, and I don't think you're going to be able to lock anyone down too much. Fearness just able to absolutely take so much as the Pop Blossom KO comes in, able to at least get some, but unfortunately I don't think they're going to be able to turn it around as Saber goes in and is able to snipe at least someone. Curtain Call opens up, is up, going to turn this around. This is their best opportunity, but Fearness able to take all of those shots immediately to the back, going down about half HP. This Scion is getting chopped down as we look for kill after kill. Cryin able to do so much for their team, but this can still be anyone's game as we pop a little bit back up and another one goes down up, absolutely wrecking the competition. We stepped a little bit too far forward and we're looking for the full wipe. Saber really wants this kill on Hacker if we're able to lock him down, and yes indeed, we're able to get the entire team for FRK.
Finally, this LeBlanc pays
about 12
off.
seconds on the clock for this up-and-coming Drake, and what an important one it's going to be, Elk.
Yeah, gold doesn't matter as much, and it's all about this vision that we were noting earlier. Hacker trying to clear some vision out right now. You can see that FRK are moving in. Hacker is on vision from this brush right now. He's going to jump over the wall, and he is separated. Saber on one side of the map. There's the Equalizer doing nothing here. Wink on to 3.
Awesome as 3 as we lock him down. Curtain Call opens up. Fairness trying to find an angle, knocking up the Jin, but FRK taking so much damage as Mbessa goes in, looking to lock down 1, 2. We're only going to fall 2 pieces, unfortunately for him, as Hacker goes in, and now going to get taken down. Up, looking in top form, turning this game around. Game number 1 might just fall to Up.
There is the soul, Leo. You
I don't think you can play too heavily handed into FRK, because FRK still has the potential to turn this around for a lot of different reasons, but we got to find the right opportunity. Curtain Call going to open up once again, signaling a little bit of fight here as we're going to try to go in, but unfortunately we're just not feeling the confidence for that one. Trying to crack open the base still, that's going to be a little bit more important. Saber able to do that at least inside the mid lane now, chomping at the inhib, and we should be able to take on this T3 and bot lane now.
They're getting picked apart at the seams. No ability to clear waves as easily as their opponents if they had the on-hit Varus, but Cryon's getting outranged. Saber goes in, takes half of his HP. Now multiple waves crashing. Another double-stacked cannon minion wave on bottom lane. You have this wave in mid lane. 40 seconds left on this Baron. This has to be the time where Ultra Prime look for the win. They do not want to have a chance where they're playing around an Elder.
The big thing I'm worried about, though, is we have a lot of ultimates down. Sure, there's a couple more coming back up. We've also got a good chunk of flashes down for Ultra Prime, so if they buy themselves a little more time, this could turn in their advantage. Equalizer is indeed up. It's going to get deployed down on Cryon, locking it down on the other side. Pop Blossom going in, hitting absolutely no one, unfortunately, for them. However, we are able to pick up 1 kill as Saber once again goes in, grabs another one, and Bessa doing the exact same thing, locking down the other side as turret after turret's going to fall down, and somehow Up is making a comeback in game number 1 and taking the entire enchilada, because this is going to be a dead Nexus, Alk.
They lost the bottom lane. They were doing well in mid lane.
Thresh. I'm not a big fan of Thresh when it comes to the sports right now, and don't get me wrong, like I still play him, I still like the champion, I still like the kit, but I feel like that
look for something on the Saber would just mean probably his flash is going to go missing here.
Brian going in, trying to lock him down. That's exactly what you're talking about. We're into Fury, but we are going to trade, unfortunately, for the other side. Getting a little bit too close to the sun. Cassiopeia.
He'll be able to maybe make a move in mid lane, and more importantly for me, I don't want to spend too much time in this lane. I want to go for the top side scuttle.
Once again, though, Cryan going to run into a bit of trouble as it looks like Vi's going to get the knock-up, and this should be a lot of much-needed revenge. As
in time for this play, Dragon's going to be taken by Ultra Prime, and this is worrisome for FRK. They need to be able to steal this.
Fortunately, they're not able to get what they need off. A little bit of back and forward there. FRK able to get their hands on it, so that's going to be nice.
They're going to keep going for this. They should.
TP coming in. Not a lot of reinforcements so far. K'Sante looks like they're not going to respond, but it looks like we're going to try to look in for the Death Sentence. Death Sentence is good. We should have a flay here in a couple of moments, and yes, indeed, we're going to lock down one and pick up another kill for Saber. Saber sitting... Sure, we have Saber with a lot of gold, but it's a double-edged sword. If you're able to take down Saber, that's the majority of the gold there for your team. So I think that's going to be a good angle. Ooh, trying to look for the angle, but immediately we go in as Saber. It goes in for the damage. The cow has to run away from the snake. A little bit of a weird conundrum. Are we just going to try to tower dive him? Okay, we do back off. But that does mean looking for a kill. Wink getting really, really too close to the sun, I feel. But most importantly, I think FRK is getting more and more separated here. This could be an angle to lock them down. Flay, unfortunately, hitting absolutely no one, as we do have control of the ambush. Wink goes in looking for the damage there, but unfortunately able to find a whole bunch on the other side. Death Sentence pulling them back in. They thought they were out. Neferi going in, but also going to get taken down as Hacker falls to pieces, goes down on the other side. Cryan here trying to dish out the damage here with the Rune Prism, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. This Aphelios just hits way too hard, and Saber is still uncontested. Our score at 11.
4,000 gold lead. This is way too much at this point. Wink, that flash I think is incredibly exploratory. We're going to be trying to go for a dive here. We're just looking for more kills, more gold into Baye's pocket. Let's give him some turret plates as well with these 3 grubs. They're just way too far ahead. FRK put themselves in a deeper hole, and Ultra Prime are going to continue to scale in this game and continue to mount even higher gold leads. I mean, finished across the board, almost completed first items here for all of Ultra Prime, and we're still talking about Hacker's going to path up, but they have no vision under this play. Maybe they just go for the rise.
Cryan in a bit of trouble. Not even really too worth casting that one. That's a pretty easy death. Lantern there for the safe. And now we've got wallet diff, tower diff, hands diff. I think we're seeing all of it right here, unfortunately, for FRK. Really sputtering out in this one. There was an opportunity. Cryan running directly into the monster and running into that creature. Going to try to ult to safety, but it's just not going to be enough as K'Sante picks up another kill, diversifying the gold.
And it is impossible for anyone from FRK to be able to match. More gold going over to Ultra Prime as they take this mid-tier 1.
Mid-tier 1 going to get cracked as the Death Sentence comes in, going over the wall with a bit of flay. Now Yanara got to worry about a good chunk of damage. SMLZ returns a little bit of an exhaust, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough as more and more get taken down. Wink actually going to go down there in that one, trying to look for an angle as Fearness goes down. So that's going to be another 2 kills right before the Drake pops up on the map.
Oh, man. More kills, 2 going over to Ultra Prime. Control of the bottom side jungle as the dragon spawns. Nothing for this jungler to do. Hacker is just dead for free. A red buff will be their next prize. The dragon afterwards. And now we
should run directly into it. Ryze does finally pop it, but honestly at this point, if they get caught, this could be a potential bad situation as the Sultan Battery goes in. I don't even think we really need it. However, we do take a good chunk of damage on top of the Vice. The Saber is still here to try to lock them down as Hacker going to get taken down. Redemption coming on the other end as Thresh looking for another Death Sentence, but it looks like Aphelios is there to pick up the kill there for his team, for his side, as K'Sante continues to knock at the top door.
And just look at the map now. Like, Saber teleports mid. He's going to pick up this wave so that SMLZ gets nothing for free. Maybe even a mid-tier 2 if they really want it. Baye is going to pick up the gold on the bottom side with another wave coming. Everything is going right for the side of Ultra Prime. And cool. Fearness, are you going to be able to pick this one up? No. It's a solo kill again onto this Zahen.
It feels like the win has just completely left the sails of FRK. We saw the possibilities. We were rooting for them, but, you know, Ultra Prime, absolutely. I think Saber has been a big contender of this team overall. We're going to walk directly into our own deaths. We're going to try to lock down the Aphelios. This could be a good angle, but unfortunately, I just don't think we have the damage. We are able to at least pick up something for our side, but what can we do? That TP coming in, but not a lot of follow-up because, you know, Cassiopeia is just allowed to take down the top tower. So while this fight's still going on, Cassante going in, looking for at least one kill, got to grab it there. Thresh popping down ultimate there on their end, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. Hacker goes in, only to get taken down, and it doesn't really matter that we're outnumbered because the wallet diff is absolutely insane.
There it is, another kill, a triple kill going over to Baye. They don't even need the dragon that's going to spawn in a minute and a half. Basically going to end today 3-2, and that means that WE cannot win a single game in their series.
Bit unfortunate for them. Rune Prison coming in on Xiao Xiao, but shouldn't be able to do too much. We've got a lot of sieging potential here, and I think we're just trying to buy some time, maybe crack open the base, because we've been in about 30 seconds. We do have the next upcoming Drake, and I've got to imagine, even under tower, I think FRK is really going to struggle with it. Rise going in, able to get the Alistair in the background, but it's just not able to do enough. We're able to at least get Saber, but unfortunately, we're going to pop the Zonias, keeping ourselves alive. So much damage as Thresh popping down an ultimate there. Nefiri trying to turn things around, but it's just not going to happen. We have too much gold on the other side, too much hurt on the other end, and the jungle is the only one to walk away from that.
You see how difficult it is if you just put down Miasma, and look, a Realm Warp is great to get him into the back line, but it's incredibly telegraphed. So Wink goes in, he tries to flash to get himself out. They cannot find Saber. By the way, we also haven't seen a Cultivation of War from this Sehen. There's been no revives available. Ultra Prime are going to look to take this game down in 24.
Alistair here with a Hex Attack flash, about 7 seconds on the clock for the next upcoming, but I don't even think it's going to matter. This Nexus is all but destroyed as Saber just trying to pad their stats here in the background, and this is going to be a 2. And sort of rounds out the front-to-back team that we're kind of building up a little bit here on LNG.
Yeah, the Nocturne is, in my mind, you don't want to let LNG get both, but they do have the Kiana,
so far waiting on that Paranoia, which of course is very, very iconic for the Nocturne, and I think pairs really well with this team. You know, if Orianna gets a little bit too close and we get a fight here with Akali and Nocturne, I love the combination. It's a really good 1-2 punch. Sure, you don't have a lot of the stuns that maybe you want, but it is an insane amount of damage. Drake indeed falling in the background, getting really close to that 8 when you're shooting for the Void Grubs. I've got to imagine that LNG is going to looking for it. A Paranoia going to get locked down, trying to go for the Sivir as we get a dramatic pause right when it pops off. That's extremely unfortunate. Oh, man.
But the caster cams are still going.
We're gonna get out.
Oh, it's an in-game bug.
Oh, okay, good. Sivir's dead, though, apparently.
Yeah, okay, so there's a reason why it took us a little bit to get into that is First Blood going over to Team WE, and a very big investment because Cube teleported away from this objective.
About getting really close to going down, but the almost doesn't count on that one as we look for a fight over here on Void Grubs. First one going to go down easily to Monkey, but Krako just sort of circling around the side looking for something to happen. We don't have an equalizer, unfortunately, to throw down in that pit, which would have been super, super nice as the second one goes to, and it looks like we're going to try to respect our opponents, but Monkey immediately going to go into Kiana, able to get a massive ultimate, but do we have the damage to follow up? Krako sort of left here holding the pieces, is going to get their hands on a Void Grub, but going to get taken down by the Akali instead. Bulldog able to fight it out, but gonna worry about a Cassante immediately into their face. Sheer is here, but can we close the distance in time? We're trying to buy a little more time, but unfortunately it's just not gonna be enough as we go down, but that is gonna be a dead cube, and what a lot of spaghetti in game
coming through for WE. Experimental hex plates done for Monkey. It isn't a Hydra.
Opportunity, trying to lock in the Orianna. Shockwave going to come in, but Monkey does not care because with the Akali, that 1-2 punch I was talking about comes in, and now spend too many more resources on this. LNG maybe just trying to bait out a little more than they can, and they did get the TP, just like you were talking about, as Cube comes down just to say hello, but that is also to match Sheer, because Sheer is getting a couple of plates.
Be an issue.
Absolutely. Luckily for LNG, though, right now we do have a couple. We're going to try to bait out something as Krako comes in, looking for an angle here on Cube. This could very quickly be that. We do unfortunately miss the ult as the Paranoia comes in. Cube going down about half HP, but Nocturne is here for the save. Equalizer coming down, but unfortunately not doing what they need to. And this turns into a massive back and forward and just really a waste on a lot of resources.
That was a good find, though. I mean, you got Flash out from Krako. Cube played that immaculately. Cancels out. Oh, this might be a solo kill.
Shockwave as the Kali, as Garrus able to close things in, and we go for the dive, picking up another kill, and a Kali continues to get scarier. She can't move forward and do a lot of insane shenanigans, but that is an important tool to remember that you have, and League of Legends very much so rewards the turns and punishes the overextensions. Pandora gonna activate. Pandora gonna do a little bit as Kiana goes in, able to get a decent amount of damage, but unfortunately we just do not have the return. Change the Corruption is gonna miss, but Krako goes in and gets taken.
WWE, one of the most promising rosters from last year, now keeping 3/5 of their lineup in the top side, changing bottom lane because they moved on. Taeyun's over in Nongshim. We have Vampire, who's going to be playing on JDG in Stage 2 of Demacia Cup. Super exciting what this team can do now, potentially with a little bit higher ceilings with this rookie AD carry. Skaris, potentially for another solo kill.
Another Shockwave, and that just looks like we just saw another replay. I'm going to be honest. That seemed almost exactly how it went.
We'll be able to take the first turret of the game. WE are in such a good position here. And what I want to call into question was, how good was WE when their first opponent was FRK?
Position to grab this Drake because it's already sitting about half HP. Monkey very, very happy to just go ahead and take this. And it looks like it's going to be a Mountain Soul for them overall, which I've got to imagine is just going to make Karis even scarier.
Multiple dragon icons. Thankfully, the overlay at the top is just the right shade of black in terms of opacity. So you don't. We see Karis doing that by himself, solo killing the enemy mid twice in a row. And now you're in a position. Otacon is up and available. You have already this massive control around the top side. Cube can yet again teleport on this play. And LNG, it feels like they are one step behind constantly. And I want to just say that keeping most of your lineup from last year is so important. It gives you just that one step ahead of your opponents. A lot easier to plug in. I would say it's AD carry. Support has a lot of timings where you have to move with your jungle, move with mid, but AD carry in particular.
Activated as Kiana tries to buy a little bit of time. It looks like the exhaust coming in. Karis looking for an angle, looking for that damage.
What?
We're trying to return it, but Krako goes in immediately and just gets punished for it. That's really, really devastating because SantaCon is just
0 and 3. They're going to teleport Bulldog away to hopefully grab themselves the bot lane tier 1. But let's just take a look at how much experience this WE team's going to get. It's 12-9 in favor of WE for the Soul Petals. Now they're going to get...
I think everything is absolutely worked out in their favor.
It's really tough now for LNG to find much more. Good use of vision.
Panora in. We're trying to look for a fight once again, but I gotta imagine this should go over really quickly as Karis able to get 1 and 2 kills there, grabbing a double kill, taking down the tank, taking down the cow like they were absolutely nothing. And
making good picks. I think the vision has been super impressive. And another player that we haven't really talked about for WE is their support. Yao Yao took an entire year off of playing competitive. Last time we saw him was in 2024. Now he comes back in. I had a lot of questions as to whether or not this bot lane duo is going to work, and still got a lot more of the year to play through. Karis now level 16 in a 2v1.
Ooh, look at the damage on Rumble as we go back in on the other side. Karis now chunking missing as we try to go in for a little bit of gank, but it looks like we return the damage instead. Heal coming in, buying themselves a little bit of these space towers, which could provide a lot of the much-needed gold, but it's going to be hard to do because this Baron's got to be pretty close to gone. Baronori going to get activated once again. Nocturne looking for an angle to go in, but thinking better of it. Choosing a good time, going to lock in on Krako. Krako in trouble. The exhaust coming down as unfortunately our ultimate hits absolutely nobody. Sivir trying to find the damage. We're only going to find death instead as Cube absolutely picks them off, grabs another kill. WE just not letting up the pressure whatsoever. Karis finding a nice pound of flesh to go for. Bulldog in trouble. Able to buy a little bit of time and spacing. Just barely able to get out of that, but
9.5 minutes is basically the end of this one. 6,000 gold lead here for them, and a Mountain Soul near impossible for LNG to get over this one.
Absolutely, and I've got to admit, the damage on Varus, Krako got to run into a bit of danger as Karis trying to look for the damage, should be able to take them down solo, but it looks like Rumble's going to be here to try to turn things around. Equalizer coming down, there's going to be 2 Zhonya's pop there, trying to look for some sort of angle, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen, as Karis is able to dish out the damage time and time again, and WE is knocking at mid's door, taking another...
Here in this game, WE, they take down the mid-tier 2, they'll grab the Baron, they'll recall, and then kind of the map is their oyster to play around. They have the massive gold lead, they have the experience leads, like,
in the game. Maybe he gets a little CC here and there, but, like, how do we follow it up? We don't have the damage on Bulldog right now, unfortunately. We're sitting at 0-4, going to start a fight over here. Karis might actually get taken down there as the Pandora going to get activated, trying to look for the distance. Karis getting close to going down. Krako going for the hunt as the Equalizer comes down. We go back in, finally getting to shut down. This might be a little bit of oxygen in the lungs on the other side, but Bulldog left here holding the bag, gonna go down. Sure, we got 1 kill, but we still have the Baron, and we're knocking at another T2.
We got the shutdown, but at what cost here? Get another turret here for WE. They get 2 kills in trade, and they still have Baron for another minute and a half. Mountain Soul makes this an immountable kind of damage that they have to be able to deal. See how much they have to invest just to get a single one down onto WE. Inhibitor is going to be cracked here. No mid-wave to play for, but maybe they just end the game.
I think they have all the tools to do that. Alistair is up, but what is he going to be able to do here into all of these insane odds? Nocturne trying to lock down Rumble. Unfortunately, not able to find the angle, but we've got these cannon minions just sort of here chipping away at the base. 1 tower is going to go down. Going to transition over into the T3, and just LNG doesn't have a lot they can do. There's just not a lot they can respond with. Krako looking desperately for some sort of angle to go in and lock this team down, but it's going to be a big ask. Even if we get in there, we might just get taken down. And the turn goes in, and there it is, that turn exactly that I was talking about as the Pandora gets activated, as we just try to lock him down. Buy a little more time there with an ultimate as we fight underneath the tower. Alistair able to buy a little bit of time, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough as Krako ultimately goes down on the other end. Equalizer there on Monkey. Monkey almost going to get taken down. Does indeed go down on the other end, but we're losing more and more members for LNG. This might be an angle to go for as the Zhonya gets activated, but Karis still here able to do. There's going to be the shockwave. Lots of back and forward. Cube absolutely able to dish out the damage. Varus doing the exact same thing, and more members for LNG just continue to fall.
The flash used by both of our AD carries, 1xN, will survive. It'll be more gold being picked up by LNG, but it's another turret get out of their base. Missing does a Hex Flash over the wall. Thankfully doesn't get punished by the rest of WE immediately trying to pounce on him. Monkey turns off the light. Cube in the back line.
Krako going to get isolated as we start a fight over here. There's an absolute cuddle puddle here for this one as we try to lock down and deal a good chunk of damage. Karis able to absolutely rock member after member. There's only 2 left here for the defense, and we're trying to go for the whole enchilada. Grabbing another one, and that is going to be a full ace for the other side. Double kill for Karis, and it doesn't matter because game number 1 is going to be over. WE taking this first point, taking the Nexus.
Wow, that was a massive flank yet again from Cube. Middle of the pack player who...
No Corki, unfortunately, for me. I still want to see it, even if it doesn't make a lot of strategic sense. But it's not my game for sure. But we get a pretty rounded out team here. I like
Monkey,
what we got.
Again, the most pivotal part of this composition and team is a good way to put them on the back foot. What are we doing?
Already starting off with a Bard stun as Krako has to go over the wall. Damage already coming in as Monkey starts off strong. Actually, about Yanara is able to pick it up, which I think is...
1xN and Missing make their way. You know he has no flash on Monkey.
Make a collapse. Monkey in trouble, gonna get knocked back, and this is that tempo change I think that they needed. Bulldog maybe get their hands on this Drake, and we're gonna look for a fight over here between Krako and, of course, Monkey. Krako goes in, dealing a good chunk of damage to Monkey as we go down about half HP. There is going to be the ultimate for Mbessa, but unfortunately not a whole bunch going to happen. Talia there to try to cut off the other side, looking for an angle here on Monkey, but most importantly try to lock down the Yanara as we do get taken down. Karis going to fall to pieces, unfortunately.
He's already kind of out of that position, and so you now traded the enemy mid laner for the Dragon. Good punish coming from LNG, and something that even with the level 1, which I was very sad and disappointed disappointed with. I kind of already mentally getting ready for LNG to continue their losing
Pressure
way.
and just never letting up is kind of what WE did to them, and it looks like we're sort of returning the favor. Cube looking for an angle to go in. There's going to be the ultimate trying to lock them down. We are exactly going to do that. Able to do a good chunk of damage. Karis able to unfortunately run into the majority of the team. Is turning a 2v2 fight there on the bottom as Sheer is looking for a kill, is looking for more and more. Bulldog in trouble. Getting the shutdown will be super great for the other end. We try to get the knockup. We do eventually get the kill as Yanara trying to buy a little bit of spacing and distance. WE able to take down member after member. Azir is still up. We're looking for the angle. Okay, what a solid Ezreal ultimate right there, picking up a double kill. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to be late. Talia has to use ult if they want to get into this spot right now. This is a dragon going over. This was a very tight timer for WE to find, and if they make this punish on a monkey, he can still flash if he needs it.
Talia having to blow a flash in order to get out of that, but I don't blame them whatsoever. And for the most part, other than one summoner ability down, we take those. Nice little Drake there for WE. Doesn't bode particularly well for LNG losing that, but it's not over just quite yet. Just one Drake is not going to turn the game around in WE's favor, and we're looking for a gank right now, trying to lock him down underneath the tower as Krako goes in, activating the Crescent Guard. Another one from Ezreal coming in, but unfortunately it's just not going to matter. More and more going down. WE in trouble. This fight still underneath tower as Shearer looking for the damage, taking down the Rise. We're going to get 3 kills in a tower. That's a little devastating for WE.
Very punishing, by the way, that Cube ended up teleporting back to
you know, they're already looking in a really great spot as they take down the Shelly.
Right now, it's just going to be Herald being taken, and maybe Talia even gets a full turret to herself. There's 2 grubs here, and while there isn't plates, it's a pretty stacked minion wave. You have Xin Zhao in the area, Brahm's also waiting. Monkey's going to come here to just pick up this minion wave, make sure that someone's getting this golden experience. Bard's on this side, does have ultimate available.
There's going to be the Tempered Fate coming down. Redemption on the other end, looking to
oh
lock
my
down
God,
this tower.
Krako.
Tower is indeed going to go down. We're able to get at least 1 stun. Cube is here looking for, unfortunately, he does not have the ultimate. There is going to be Bessa going in. Monkey able to pick up a kill. Things are not looking good for LNG. They don't have the rest of the team here, and the response time for WE is too powerful as we pick up another kill. Ezreal looking for another cross-the-map snipe, but unfortunately, it's not going to be good enough as Monkey picks up a triple kill.
3 kills to this Ambessa, and all of that gold going straight into his pocket. He outplays on such fine margins. Also, Krako doesn't die there, I'm pretty sure, because the tower dies and loses the fortification or the heating up buff. Oh my God, About almost gets outplayed. Oh my God, he dies to red buff there. Yunara picking up the kill, so a big turn.
That sort of skirmishing back and forward, and I think that does show the power of Yunara. Okay, we're going back into the game. It looks like Shelly's already going to get deployed down.
Tough, man. They don't even get the turret here. They'll get it afterwards. They'll be able to push them off of this. Dragon spawns in 20. They need to spend some of this gold for it to be worth it. Rise.
We're going to try to match the Malphite as Cube is able to take the tower. So even though we don't lock down the Drake, we're able to get our hands at least on some sort of objective.
Malphite getting 300 gold feels good. Zahen's going to be able to match alongside the bottom
Something
lane.
out, the Malphite ultimate is down, so it's not the worst strategy.
So, Bao was late to this, but they're on separate sides. Cube has no ultimate. We're never contesting this. WE, I think the look for Bulldog was an okay idea, but they lost control of the mid lane. Zahen's actually just making a very short distance TP to get him back in the mid lane, and this gives a position here for WE to look.
Redemption coming down, and we're looking for a fight. We might get the autocon. We might cost us our lives.
Oh!
There it is. And Bessa going in. We're trying to lock him down, but Monkey unfortunately got to pick up CC after CC as the Crescent Guard gets activated. LNG looking for the damage. LNG looking to continue to turn this around. They got the autocon, and now they're able to grab these fights as we get a 3-man Tempered Fate, but it just does not matter as 1xN finishes his 1v1, looking for another kill on Bard as we go in. Rise on the run, and I think Bard might be the only one that makes it out of this carnage.
Oh, WE, why are we going for the fight? We could have just given up the Otacon. It's a few flower petals going over. Karis is going to die. He loses his flash. The same could be said for most of his team members there. And Yao Yao, I don't know what we're waiting for.
4-0 lead, which is absolutely frightening. Truly being a raid boss right now. Looking for a fight right now. Speaking of on sheer, the rune going down, locking them down. But can we able to turn this around? Can we do 1v5? I don't think we can. We should still have a passive. No, we get taken down by Monkey. That's really unfortunate, and that does tie up our score. Pretty close to already up. Very, very similar to Ash in that regard. So it's nice to see Temper Fate coming down, locking down one X in. This is a good opportunity as Malphite goes in, closing the distance. Unfortunately, hitting a big whole bunch of nothing. Exhaust coming down back and forward, about going to get isolated just a little bit, but it does finally wear off on the other end. But we're immediately going to go back in. Sheer trying to close the distance. Bard trying to help out, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be in time. Rise trying to escape, but it's just not going to happen in return.
Oh, that might just be the end of the game. They've got 2 grubs, and there's only a Malphite and a Bard to save them. LNG fought back here in this game, an early invade that goes awry, but just strong fundamentals playing around the map and punishing WE.
Cube going in, unfortunately going to get taken down, and this indeed is going to be the end of game number 2 between LNG and WE. We're moving into game number 3, which means I finally get absolutely...
When I look at these compositions immediately, I don't want to say they have a lack of damage here, but try to just keep him trapped under this. I think this is really smart, making sure that Cube cannot answer on the other side of the map. We're seeing a play towards the bottom side as Monkey goes into 1xm, but there's no follow-up here. What is he doing?
Dying. That's what he's doing, because that's exactly what happened. Double Jace happened, but unfortunately one Jace had a lot of...
Because WE are deciding to play for this objective from mid lane.
WE not in the greatest spot as Bulldog comes in looking for their knockups and their taunt. This should be a dead Nautilus, which means we can transition this easily into a couple of wood grubs.
Your opponents are expecting. Now LNG, are they going to really get their cake and eat it too? If they find this pick onto Monkey and onto Scion, they can grab Dragon after.
Starting to fight on the Rumble. Rumble does indeed go down as Scion provide a lot of spacing here for Monkey, and we're just sort of allowed to get this kill for free without really a whole bunch of response, missing, at least throwing a headbutt in there, just saying, something. Galio into the... Okay, I thought we were going to get a kill over there. Monkey going to get turned around on immediately, really suffering that bit of gold difference as Krako tries to close in the distance, looking for the kill. Still can go either way. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. There it is, Krako absolutely chunking the other side as most of WE just sort of gets caught here inside the jungle, but about looking for an angle, trying to lock down Krako. This would be a nice shutdown on the Varus, and he does indeed get it, so at least we're able to get our hands on something.
Oh, and sheer TP to the other side.
Gold being about the exact same thing. And then across the board, it looks like everything's pretty even. We're going for another, or at least, is that the first Drake? I think that's our first Drake of the game at about 12 minutes, so a very, very late Drake. Oh, man, look at the return right there on Krako. Heroic entrance going to come in. Unfortunately, not able to get anyone. Monkey in a little bit of trouble as Krako goes in for the distance. The taunt going to come in, locking down Varus #1. As Scion comes in from downtown, locking down, missing. The exhaust going to come on top of the Scion, trying to lock him down, but this should be a dead cow. Yes, indeed. He buys time for his team. Now, Rumble here trying to pick up a little bit of pieces there with a mop, but look, Karis going in, looking for the damage. Karis looking for another kill as Krako goes down. This Akali is absolutely phenomenal. Can we do it again? Can we get sheer? It's going to be hard. That's 2 to go into. Cube is here looking for a knock up there. And Varus by a little more time here for Karis, but it doesn't matter as we flash forward, pick up a kill, and trade our life to take down the mid laner.
Oh, Karis gets a lot of gold there, but look at him to contest. 1xn does teleport back into the mid lane, and Sheer can answer. We're seeing both the Akali and the Rumble trying to figure out when and where they can teleport in right now. Karis is late.
Going in. Heroic entrance, unfortunately hitting absolutely no one. That's not what you want to see. We're going to lock down Yao, taking a good chunk of damage, but unfortunately able to stay alive as Galio gets caught there by a hook. Going to get taken down, fall to pieces. Bulldog. Everybody's starting to melt now at this point with Double Jace. It's absolute shenanigans as Krako goes in but gets taken down by Varus once again. Cube left here holding the pieces, and it is indeed going to go down. LNG looking in top form as Scion goes down.
Oh my god. I was wondering when that equalizer was going to come out, and Bulldog taunt flash from Krako to just put this monkey, or put Monkey into the waiting arms of his team.
We're going to go from replay into at least a little bit of fight over here. I believe Missing went down. I don't think that's going to be another down for that side. And so we're going to be able to turn this into a Drake for WE. And that's going to be really, really important. Each one of these objectives is going to be important for, I've got to imagine, their mental and their morale at this point. Because this game is, this series, I guess I'd say, is starting to drag on overall. And I think LNG might have been going into this, or so WE might have been going into this expecting to sort of 2-0 LNG. It's hard to know their mental for sure. But they're giving a lot of trouble. There's going to be a chain of corruption going down for LNG's in, so that's going to be an important tool no longer in their wheelhouse. And a couple things to note, too. We've got a couple of flashes down. It looks like...
They still have to spend their gold and all.
I feel like that's maybe one of their primary advantages is just lean into the Scion. Trying to find that positioning. The vision score is going to be so important leading up to this objective because, you know, if we do win this fight, we can turn this into 2 objectives. The Equalizer coming down on Cube. Cube just refusing to take damage whatsoever. Missing, able to provide a lot of spacing, pushing Cube directly into the other side. Scion finally going down. That's going to be the kill. That's going to be the number advantage that we need for LNG. WE looking in not the best spot as we do start Autocon, at least trying to push the other side back, but at this point, just wait for the objective and maybe try to go for it. I guess we could be up at that time, but that's going to be nice for LNG.
It looks like they want to get a recall in. Missing wants to reset and get some wards right now. W are keeping it leashed, but it's such an easy position for them to play. You have Galio in mid. He can keep this wave versus the Varus. He can actually even maybe force a summoner spell or 2 out from him if he feels like he's being aggressive.
WE, I suppose, but it has just been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and no one is really moving. In goes Yao Yao, decent chunk onto Croco, who flashes away, but on Blurder, the Mortalist for it. Chains of Corruption onto Cube, doesn't have his ult yet still. Potentially looking to jump on him, the Electro Harpoon just shy. Down a member, 5v4. Well, they're going to look for that mid turret instead, probably. Eyes on the Atachan, though. Teleport for Yao Yao. Don't want to give that turret up. Croco's being sent for it, but he's the jungler. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Fine. Didn't have Smite by the looks of it, used it partway through the play. But he's gone for the Eclipse for a bit more dueling. He does not have the Cyrildas, and that means the poke right now from Croco, which is landing regularly, has been stinging really hard. It's also just giving you a lot of first strike gold. Cube, Yao Yao, they do finally get that mid lane tier 1 missing. Taken low, yet to burn ult. Oh, he's too late with that. Flash available, burns it. Gone quite deep, Sheer flashes the other way. This is messy, hang on. Monkey can look for a shot blast call. Bulldog in the front line, Chains of Corruption. Redemption comes on forwards, Equalizer down. Cube taken low, Cube also having to flash away. Piercing arrow not enough. They get 1 onto Bulldog. Karis looking to get behind here, won't be able to quite catch 1XN.
So much damage, and it looks like this one's going to turn into a Drake for WE.
Wow. This was what we saw in game number 1. Missing just takes a little bit too much damage before fights, and that makes sense. That makes sense that that's happening. Okay, we're going for double Serpent's Fang. All right, guys. If LNG win, it's not because of items, it's because their champions are just too damn OP. All right? Cube, you have a lot of armor here, and the flash to block it.
No. Flash, yeah, we're just down. There's nothing we can do. There's the numbers advantage right before the Baron is up. There's going to be dead Scion, fake alive Scion for the current moment. Trying to close it. Kind of really struggle there with that one. Position, but taking so much damage from the poke. This poke is just absolutely insane. Jace with the Varus are absolutely crazy.
Wait a minute.
Missing go.
落地金身拖时间进峡阵，对面伤害太高了，损武还有2段标下2万，溜之了，拜拜，炮又架起来了，勾到了，接腐败锁链，兰博大招撒的一般啊，补了个小炮，布道哥开金身拖时间，损武还挂上了，希尔也开金身，有点帅，哎，布道哥操作了，有点上头了，包的，而且这个一没撒好，全是。
WWE losing out on the fight. Bulldog moves forward. Croco moves forward. Enough ability haste. Oh, 1XN almost gets caught. It's a flash away. Sion's gonna move forward. Isn't able to find all that much. Cube just goes down for free, and this is now gonna be a Baron at half.
Absolutely. Baron's sitting at half a cube. It's absolutely melted. Damage absolutely phenomenal as I make my way back, and this Varus is still just going back and forward. And despite the fact that we knocked down Scion for what is it now, the 4th time, we're still struggling to close the distance on this Baron and close out the game. It really is just dragging on. We're getting close to that 40-minute mark, which means we're building up to what my prediction is. I'm still predicting a 50-minute game, Alk.
No. Well, look, Scion's perfect for that, and especially in these mirror matchups, it's kind of what you're able to do. Now, oh man, this is so tough. Why are we contesting for this? Oh my god.
No, Monkey going down inside his own jungle. Equalizer coming down as Missing takes a good chunk of that damage, but I don't think they care as we're able to do the Chains of Corruption and pick up another support. These supports just feel like they're made out of butter.
There's just no tank stats. We're not seeing, like, Locket. We don't have Aftershock. We don't have Guardian. We just have Unsealed Spellbook and a lot of HP thanks to these redemption rushes. Yao Yao goes down, Missing goes down, Bulldog and Monkey fall for...
So important, and we've already seen the insane amount of poke we have before that as 1xN almost gets taken down, but it looks like we had the Change of Corruption and a couple other things. Buying plenty of distance, Cube getting absolutely melted by 1xN, Missing having to blow their ultimate, but it's already going to be down. We're going to get at least 1 Q on Cube as the rest of the team manages to go in for WE, taking them down. Double kill on the Galio. Things are not looking good for WE as member after member goes down, leaving Karis the only one to hold the bag.
That might just be the end of the game. I mean, Missing has teleport, and this is 3 grubs and a very fed Jace. That turret is paper mache at this point. That could be, yeah, I think this is the end. 35 seconds before multiple members of WE are back, and LNG are going to secure first place in Group B.
Absolutely. Missing coming in with that TP, and I can't imagine at this point there's anything they can do to turn it around other than maybe disconnect the router of their opponents. Karis going in, trying to buy some time there with the Zonias, able to at least do a little bit of juking, but at what cost for sure? Heroic's entrance is going to get interrupted, but it does not matter as the Nexus gets targeted. We're trying to pad our stats, though, and pick up a couple kills. Nexus is indeed going to go down to LNG. LNG taking this to...